We all know that about 90% of all real estate agents fail, but why? I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why I believe so many agents fail, and I bet they're not what you think. Hey there, I'm Brandon DeVere. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons that you probably never heard before of why agents fail. Number 1, most agents are pulled from an employee world into an entrepreneurial or business owner world, which they're not used to. They're used to going in, clocking in, being told what to do, when to have it done by, and they're getting paid by the hour, not by the outcome. So taking an agent from that mindset and trying to get them to do everything all at once as soon as they transfer their business over can be very difficult. They're not used to setting their own time. Even though that might be why they got into the industry in the first place, they still might have a tough time transitioning to that without a daily checklist or something that is outlining their day for them. Number 2, false promises and mismanaged expectations. Now, this is kind of a difficult one here because it can fall on both sides. Number 1, it typically comes from either the broker, the manager, the agent, or whoever's trying to recruit you to get into the business. And what happens here is there may be a little picture painted that things might be a little bit easier than they are, and that you can set your own schedule and you can make as much money as you want and you can do all these things, which all are possible. However, they might be sold a little bit stronger than maybe they are. In my case, back in 2005, I was a hookah boy. Yes, that was my title. I worked at a hookah lounge and I loaded bowls for a living. And every Friday, an agent would come in and he would say, "Hey, Brandon, do you think that you could pass a real estate exam?" And for me, I was like, yeah, as long as I studied. And so as we started going along, he said, "Yeah, you'll make 6 figures effortlessly." Now, I didn't believe it. It was actually kind of turned off by it, but that was the approach. I was going to make 6 figures effortlessly. So I was going to make way more money than I did then and with way less work. And I went through it, got my license, did everything, joined up with him, and I saw him 2 more times after that. So those were my expectations when I got in, was that I was going to make a bunch of money and do less work than I was already doing. The other side of that coin is maybe people who have been watching HGTV or some other TV show following agents, or even when they went through the home buying process themselves or home selling, and they said, "Hey, that agent made a bunch of money. All they did was show me a handful of homes," and not realize what was going on behind the scenes. So now that person has now set themselves up as this is what an agent does, and those were their expectations that they set up for themselves. And in reality, it was a lot more work than they were anticipating, and that's where agents can fail in that area. And reason number 3 why I think so many agents fail, and it comes down to they are not encouraged to leverage their strengths. So often we get agents that get in and we want them to do everything from A to Z as soon as they're thrown into the fire, and we want them to do it A to Z right now. And what's happening is, 1, they might not be good at something that we're trying to get them to do, and that will cause burnout. Because if you're not good at it and you're trying to learn something instead of focusing on your strength when you first start out, you're going to get burnt out, especially when things aren't working out well. And I kind of put this on the level of a diet, right? You come in and they say, "Hey, you eat 4,000 calories a day. Now you're going to eat 2,000. You're going to cut out soda, sweets. You're going to do all this changing right now instead of building yourself up, column by column and things that you're good at. Okay, maybe I'm going to cut out sugar and cut out candy and things like that. Maybe now I'm going to get really good on the phones and I'm going to spend a couple months doing that instead of going from, like I said, A to Z, because most agents come in and they want to do lead gen, they want to prospect, they want to set up appointments, they want to show homes, they want to negotiate, they want to go on inspections, they want to attend closings, they want to do everything. And what happens is when you are out on showings, you're not prospecting. And when you're prospecting, you're not out on showings. So you see a lot of agents that will go months without a closing, and then they'll close like 2, 3, 4 homes in a month or two, and then go back to nothing for a couple months because they're on that cycle of trying to do everything instead of finding out what they're really good at, and more importantly, finding out what they're bad at and taking what they're bad at and finding a way, maybe finding someone to help them leverage either a system or a person to help them get better at the things that they're bad at. So just to recap, number 1 is agents are pulled from the employee world and put into the entrepreneur business owner world. Number 2, they are getting false promises and mismanaged expectations. And finally, number 3, is they are not encouraged to leverage what they are good at and get better at. So if I may have missed anything, I'm sure I have. There's plenty of reasons why agents don't fail. I would love to hear what you think are some of the top reasons why agents fail. Please send them in the comments and we can discuss them there. So, all right, guys, have a great one.